Okay, so I thought I would start a live video of our garden now that I have a moment to myself. Flint and his dad are watching cartoons, and I thought I'd come out here while there's still some light and just show you the progress on our yard, my plants, and the garden. Right now we're looking into a screen that my mom picked up like years ago, and they've been laying around, so I didn't have a top for this, but I thought these would be good to hold my plants in, and I got a planter box from the Adult Day program, and Adam built me some legs for it, which is nice because it's too hard to bend around. But my plants are doing really well in here, and I have a nice thick piece of plastic on top, but it did get really windy today, so I had to put extra wood on. Yeah, I have some hot peppers. I have sweet bell peppers, some kale. I have tomatoes, and I have thyme, rosemary, and there's a little watermelon in there, and there's some cilantro and stuff in the back. I won't take the whole thing off because this is really heavy. So I'll just leave that because I'll have to fold it back. I have things all over the place, but this really nice long grass we dug out from my Uncle Murray's place. He wanted to get rid of it, so he said, if you dig it out, you could have it. And it's like this really nice, long, beautiful beach grass. It doesn't do it justice, but we need a place to put it. I've also got these boxes, which I'm recycling from the hospital. The pharmacy usually doesn't use them anymore, and they just toss them out. So I picked a couple of those up and painted them and put my strawberries in it, made some holes on the bottom, and kept the lids for when it gets really cold and frosty here in the winter, and I'll just put the lids on and they should be fine in there. I'm doing a lot of container gardening right now because we're in the process of owning our first home. So I just swallowed a fly. There's tons of no-see-ums out. I have lavender. Beautiful lavender. These ones are new. This one is from Victoria. We got 2 of these, and this one's just starting to bloom. More grass. Another planter box. And old blueberry bush that I got about 7-8 years ago, and I just saved it. It was really overgrown at my granny's, and I plucked it out and took a lot of the mound of grass off of it and cleaned it up a bit. I've also got some more lavender. I tried to put 2 in a pot, but they're like sisters. They like their own space, so. Let's see, I got this Pampas Grass from Funkit. It's one of my biggest purchases. It's about $80. And they get tall and beautiful. And this one is the sun variety, and it's like a beautiful white ivory color, and it looks really silky. And I just have it in between these tires just so it doesn't fall over in the winds, because I have no protection here. It's like a funnel. When the wind comes through Loop Road, it goes right through, and it's pretty strong. Adam made this trellis for me, and I put really lots of ribbon on it because a bird flew into it the next day early in the afternoon, and I had to cut a big chunk out right here and get him out of there. And I used a whole roll of ribbon so that I got no more birds caught in my net. I have raspberries. My Uncle Christian is going to be fixing up the roof on the shed, on the wood shed. So I went to go dig up some raspberries and see how they do, and save some of those because he's gonna need some room there. This tree is a weeping crabapple. I'm getting really attacked by no-see-ums. It's a weeping crabapple, and I got this from Uncle Murray as well. He wanted it gone, so I rushed up there with flint, threw him in the truck, belted him in, and we went there, and he was having fun playing around with his little cousin, and I got it out. It was a really tough job, and I trimmed it up, and I put it in a recycle bin. Our recycle bin. It already has holes on the bottom, so I didn't have to worry about drilling holes into a tote. And it looks pretty happy. I've also got a really big raspberry plant. I haven't been able to fit it in the other thing, so it's just standing here doing good. I've got some flowers from Ashoron that are blooming, and I'm really happy about that. I just put it in that planter box. I had bluebells in there, but they didn't do too well, so I just took them out and shoved the bulbs in another pot. I had a little fountain here, but the solar fountain, the kids were playing with it and kept putting their finger on the water, and it stopped. So I don't have a fountain anymore, but it was a cute setup and the kids liked it. I have a bunch of flowers here, and I'll step back just so you could see my area, a little bit of my little oasis. Sorry, I'm scratching my hands, I'm getting bit up. I have a willow tree. I have some wildflowers, a willow tree, an apple tree, and the hummingbird is here. I don't know if you could see him. This is the first time I'm getting him on camera. Cute. I'm glad you guys got to see that. I have a Tangerine Slice. I have 2 of these, and they're in these buckets right here, and I think we have 1 bloom on it. They're really pretty. I've got some plants I don't remember what they are, but I got those from Ashoron. I love touring her garden, and I'm working on my own perennial garden, and right now they're all in containers. I've got some grass from Daisy. I've got some bulbs from Nani Lee, these ones, the grass from Daisy, my cousin, and a loganberry bush. And I've got some mustard greens from Daisy too. She wasn't too sure what these were, but they're growing really nicely, and it looks really pretty in this basket. I saved a few baskets, and I decided to plant in them because they're pretty sturdy, and they've got excellent drainage holes. I got more strawberries in there. I plucked all of those out from the bed over here. Adam had to take apart a really old planter box that my mom had, and we try to use these greenhouses, but it blows way too hard and they don't do very well. They knocked down all my plants that I had in here, and I had to repot a lot of them and throw away a bunch, and it was really devastating. This is where I usually hang my basket of nuts, just up here for the Stellar Jay. And he has a little basket right here to eat that he's working on. And you guys seen my Hummingbird Feeder? I got this from Lori Joran. I was super happy with that. Some willow trees in here, and they've been rooted for probably 2 years now, and I've really got to get them into the ground. Strawberries, blueberries, and I'm trying to transplant a huckleberry bush, and I don't know how that's going to go, but hopefully it works. And I got all of these buckets from Fields. They were like $3 or $4, and compared to Co-op, some of their planter box or buckets or containers were like $30. So I went to Fields and I bought a bunch of buckets and I put holes in them, and it was great. So I saved some money. Here's another one from Victoria, and we kept this on our truck all the way home when we went to go get Flint's eye checked, and luckily that turned out really well. Nothing to worry about, and the bugs have gone down a little bit. So I have some wild perennial flowers here. I'm seeing if they'll take, because we want to put them in the garden in the back. I have some mint in the back that my mom grew a long time ago, and that's spread throughout the yard over there. Oh, I'm getting chewed up. The wind stopped. I've got lettuce. I put a ton of lettuce in here just a couple days ago, I think, about 4 days ago, and they came up really fast. I've got some willow trees, lettuce. This is a pumpkin. They're not doing too well. I really need a greenhouse, but I've got a lot of plants. And some, I think these are hydrangeas from Lori. My tomato plant is outside, and it's not doing too bad out here. It's pretty tough. Got 2 of them. I got those ones from Causeway. And some broccoli. I'm seeing how they do out here. This is where I normally sit, under the tree. And it's really comfy when you don't have a spot to sit down after working so hard in the garden. So around here, this was covered in salmonberry bushes, and those salmonberry bushes go everywhere. It's really hard to get rid of the roots. Adam dug this whole thing up, and it was just covered in salmonberry bushes, this entire space. And all those strawberries I got out of this bed that were growing underneath this salmonberry bushes. And yeah, he did a wonderful job. And he took out all the dirt and he sifted it for me. So I had a ton of dirt to do all my transplants and use for my strawberries to transplant those. And this whole side of the house, there was tons of trees and some old rubbish from when my mom was planting, and she had an old, I guess kind of like a makeshift greenhouse, and the plastic was still on it. I ripped it all off, and that's where my table came from in the front with all the blueberries on it. So we're walking around the house, and we got Lou Pages in, and he did a wonderful job scraping out all of this. So he did this part that was covered in salmonberry bushes, and like insane. Like, I wish that I did another video of it, because I couldn't believe how much salmonberry bushes just spread. Adam's working on his fence, and he planted willow all around by the fence. So what he's going to do is weave the fence and train the willow down so that we have a living fence by the time this fence rots away. So within 3 years it should be pretty established. So I'll just walk on the outside of here just to show you our potatoes. He made all our beds out of alder, and these are all the trees that came down behind our house next door. So these ones are Haida potatoes. Those ones are russets. What?
Rice pudding's ready.
Oh, thank you.
Can you take it out the oven?
Yes, please. Okay. Rice pudding's ready. So our rhubarb is doing really well. Paul Bell and Ryder gave us a chunk of rhubarb. I think it was last year, and we planted it, and it's come back really well. I think that it really likes its own little space there. It's queen of the garden. I have some strawberries on the other side of the willow, and they're pretty perky and happy. The willow needs to be planted along the back of our house, I think. I have some garlic in there. Soon Adam will be taking that a spot out over there for a gate, and that'll be nice, so I don't have to walk all the way over there to walk all the way back there. So that's why I'm kind of doing it from the outside. Now that I'm close enough, I'll go in. And it's a whole new feel when you get inside the yard. We've been trying to keep the weeds down, but we have a really long list of things that we need to do, so it's been really tough. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Cecilia. Love you. Our strawberries are very perky and happy. Hopefully we get some strawberries to freeze or just eat, because Flint goes crazy and he really loves strawberries. That's what he'll eat. He'll just eat a whole bowl full, and that'll be supper. We have some garlic here, and they're not doing too bad. I wish I didn't plant them here, though. I wish I just planted all strawberries in here. But that is that. We have some volunteer potatoes over there in the corner, and over here some more, and my chives are blooming and they look amazing. Like, I can't believe how hardy they are. Like, they're just tough little puffballs. But I'm gonna let those go to seed, and hopefully by the time they go to seed, we'll be in our own house, and they'll be able to establish themselves in a garden, a little garden bed or something. I have a few more, and they're the best chives that I've ever had. They're so beautiful. I love chives. And over here are artichokes. These ones are Jerusalem artichokes. A lady was giving them away online, and I traded a couple jars of fish for them, and hopefully we like them. I've never eaten one before. I don't know what to do with them, but I'll Google it. Some more potatoes. More potatoes. And Adam made this for me for my peas. And they're not doing too bad. I have 2 cucumber. One on that end, on the very end. And then right here. We'll see how that goes. They're pretty tiny. And I'm just raking up on the side of the house, and it's starting to look really nice. It's a lot of work, but he mowed down the dirt hills that we had in the front of the house, in the driveway, came through here, got all the trees and the bushes out of the way, and it was so awesome. And got all the trees from back here out, and all the salmonberry bushes, which was amazing. And he did a really, really good job. I was so happy. It was worth the money. Adam has a few potatoes and the tires there. He's going to try it out and see how it goes. We've never done it before. We've only had them in the garden boxes, but we thought because we have so many tires that we will try plant potatoes in them. And I'm going to make vents in the back with all the tires. So I'm going to put them probably like 4 or 5 high, fill them with earth, and then stick the lucifer bulbs in them. And they're supposed to be a really long grass, probably about a meter long. And they bloom with red flowers, and that should be really pretty. So that's our vision for the back garden. With a fence, of course. And we'll have to tear this down eventually. Oh, I should show you inside. We've got a lot of garbage to pick up, but during spring cleaning, we could hardly see anything, but yeah, got a lot of room in here. I'll have to do this in the daytime, but it's nice to store our stuff in here for now. We've got to board up the windows and lock the back slide door. Oh, thank you, Cecilia. Oh, I got bugs all over. Oh my god, it's like right above my bra strap. Just a second, I gotta use this corner of the door. Oh my god. Sorry guys. Struggle is real. So now we have to do the front of this house. We need to knock out all the glass from the windows, board them up, pick up as much rubbish as we can, and get the front here done. And rake up this, flatten it out, get some more gravel, and pick up some more garbage, move our windows to our house so that we could make a greenhouse. So many plans, so much to do. But getting there one step at a time. Thank you guys for coming along with me and checking it all out. Oh, I'm just getting bit up, and I have rice pudding inside waiting for me. So I love you guys. Take care, and have a good night. Bye-bye.